Ladies and gentlemen, this is not day 2 of building the Camaro. We actually have had a slight change of plans as far as like the house situation goes. We are actually moving places by September, and things actually have not went accordingly with the Camaro. The whole reason I was gonna do this whole thing, you know, day 1, day 2, it wasn't gonna be like one video a day, of course. It's just gonna be like the days I spent working on it, just to clear up some confusion there. But I did spend some time actually working on the Camaro, and pretty much everything bad that could have happened, which it's whatever. I'm gonna undo it, and I'll explain that a little bit further. So with the whole house thing, and then the things I'm about to explain to you happening with the car, it's definitely not going to be done by the end of summer, which is kind of what I was shooting for. That definitely fell through, and I'll go ahead and describe a little bit more what's going on. So when I was working on the engine, one of the nuts for the fuel rails to be supported by fell onto the valley cover, which is just the top segment of that engine beneath the intake, right? Well, that nut actually fell into the cam position sensor hole that I did not have taped off or blocked by anything, which means there is actually 2 nuts fell in there. So there's stuff in the crank or cam case, or hopefully in the oil pan, sitting in there, right? So my first train of thought was pull the oil pan, right, and see what we can do. Well, when I put the motor in, I didn't get the opportunity or the money to put new motor mounts in, so the engine kind of sags a little, and it's kind of resting on the firewall. Well, when I unscrewed the oil pan, come to find out it wasn't even torqued to begin with. The engine fell down more because the oil pan, I guess, was actually supporting it to a degree, which isn't what you want on the subframe there. So pulled the pan off, tried. I could not clear. The little mesh on the bottom of the block was stopping it from coming out, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put the oil pan back on. I'll get the nuts out a different day. Well, I went to go put it on and it wouldn't even go back on. So I had to jack the engine halfway up, which is actually still sitting on right now, and kind of shimmy it up, you know. Not the best idea, but it did work. And then when I went to go torque the oil pan bolts down, one of them snapped in the rear crankcase. So now I got to get that out. So with all this in mind, we have come to the conclusion that we need to disassemble the entire top of the motor, which I've actually already just done, and then pull it back out. So before we move in September, I'm actually hoping to have the engine pulled out and just get these abnormal things or foreign objects out of the inside of the motor, so then we don't have a really big expensive grenade go off when I try to fire it. So essentially, bunch of bad stuff happened all at the same time. I'm going to undo all of it, and I'm going to try to put it back in the car before we move. That's kind of the goal. So then whenever I roll it down the road to my next house, you know, I don't have to worry about doing all that again. So I actually have to go buy an engine hoist. So I've kind of put everything else on hold, and I wanted to let you guys know about that, because I actually got a lot of attention on the first one. Well, more, I shouldn't say a lot, but definitely more than what I was expecting, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you for tuning in for it. And I'm sure my car appreciates the love. This car's had a really tough life since it was made. Crazy history, which I can make a whole video on that because it's just crazy. I got all the files of everything ever done to this car up until I decided to rip the old engine out. Kind of ruined the history there for you. So anyone who owned this car previously, sorry, dude. But yeah, this car has been nothing but great to me. Other than it breaking, of course, it means everything to me, and thank you. Your guys' support means everything to me. So I'm gonna try to get this video posted as soon as I can, because you guys deserve a day 2, and unfortunately it's not coming. And a lot of my friends, personal friends, are gonna see this and be like, hey, I watched you break that bolt. I was on a call with them, and it just snapped, and that was the reminder that there is a huge difference between foot-pounds and inch-pounds. I didn't read too closely. I was kind of in a rush that day. I had to go to the movies. Come on, can you blame a guy? It's just building a car. It's like Legos. It's not that important. It's super important. I'm joking, of course. So that's pretty much it. A bunch of bad stuff happened. I'm currently undoing it, and I'll get a bunch of cool shots of it again, just to kind of show you guys what I'm working with here. I might try to get a cool shot of the broken bolt, make it all cinematic and all that. But other than that, thank you for listening to me yap. Thank you for supporting this series I'm trying to do. Yeah, I do apologize to everybody. Super excited to see this thing get done sooner. That's just not gonna happen, unfortunately. And with this car being, dead for the last 400 days, it's bothering me too that I went backwards. But it's all kind of a learning lesson, If I would have fired that engine, that oil pan not being bolted down would have caused serious problems. And actually, when I took the flex plate off the back of the motor, I found out the rear main seal wasn't even torqued down at all. It was barely finger tight, so that would have been a big problem with the transmission going on it. So this is more of a learning thing. This is the first time I've ever done this, and I'd said that in the previous video. So I don't want this car, which is my dream car, to be the learning example. I definitely want to do it right. So I'm going to try to do better for my sake, for your guys' sake. And so then this pile of crap behind me can finally run again, because this is just absurd. So thank you for listening to me yap. I appreciate your guys' support. Leave a comment at all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you have any recommendations, feel free to tell me. You guys are probably smarter than me. And if not, you got problems. See you in the next one.